And we are live. Oh god. I am live. I'm back with Sentimiento Latino number 106. Oh boy. Normally I'm joined by a co-caster, but today I am all alone once again for a little bit. I will have a Darking jumping on for the semis and the finals. So thankfully he will be joining me then. But at the moment he is adminning, running the tournament, so he has his hands full. Speaking of hands being full, here we have our first set of players. We have the Peruvian Terran. He's purple, representing Rebirth Esports. It is not Neo, it is Tavo. And his opponent, su oponente, we have the Bolivian Protoss. I think I would go as far as to say the best Bolivian player at the moment, just because, mate, all the others are gone. Feels bad, man. We have the Protoss representing Alpha X. It is Faesbuca. He's a supporter of the channel. He does dive into chat from time to time. And the Bolivian scene, feels bad, man. Like, 2020, the beginning of 2020, we had so many Bolivian players. Dark Unnamed was the big one. We had Virus. We had another Protoss player. His name slips my mind. Mood, that's the one. We had Mood. They were so good, but they're all gone. I don't know what happened to the Bolivian players. I hope they're okay. It was actually Dark Unnamed's birthday a couple of days ago. Big shout out to Dark Unnamed. He's a Zerg player. He's honestly he was one of the best Zerg players in the region. I would have said he would have been up there with like Ryu and Eggs. Not quite Eric, but again, he was up there with the Zerg Lord as well, but we haven't seen him in so long. He's kind of, left us. Same with Mood. So now Faesbuca is the one kind of raising that flag up for Bolivia, and we'll see how he does here. Faesbuca, he has been slowly climbing the ranks at the moment. I believe he is Masters 1. He has taken games off of players before, usually with cheese. He can be a very cheesy player, very unorthodox, but he has been able to take games and he has been getting better and better. So I'm glad to see Faesbuca is still here. He is still competing, still getting better and better. But speaking of players that get better and better, like that's Tavo in a nutshell. We talk about it all the time whenever we can. The new Terrans on the scene, the new Rebirth boys, both Tavo and Neo, and a couple of others have been getting better and better, and have really been showing off at the start of 20. Oh god, no, I'm dropping. Oh no. But they've been getting better and better, and they've been really looking strong, getting into 2021. They still have a ways to go. They are of course GM, they are up there when it comes to their region, but they are still in the shadow of someone like Chaos Fate. Everyone in the chat should know who Chaos Fate is. He's baby beyond of the Latin American scene. He's so good, and he is in the tournament today. He is in the brackets, but we'll see if we get to see him later on. There are a lot of big names. There's people like Chaos Fate, Jim Rising, Paco Mike, Eric. A couple of names that are missing this week that I took note of are the rest of the Brazilian boys, Shakti and the Zerg Lord. They are nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if something came up this week, but they aren't here. Instead, Eric, of course, the best Zerg player in Brazil, and Deden, the second best Brazilian player, or Terran Brazilian. Oh my. Meanwhile, we are slowly getting into the swing of things, and Tavo, of course, he is proxying his initial starport. He hasn't done anything with it quite yet. We do see a drop is on the way, so he's going to be looking to drop these Hellions into the main base. Faesbuca hasn't really been able to see much. He did send his Adept across the map, but he hasn't really been able to get into the main base. He did scout the 1-1. He did scout that the starport was missing. Can he put 2 and 2 together? He is putting a pylon in his main base, but you know what? The drop is already coming in. What is there to defend? There is a shield battery. Oh, we do see a Stalker warping in, but is it too late? Because the Hellions are here. Oh god, the probes are lining up. The shield battery overcharge does get used, but oh my god, the probes, no! Oh god! Ay. No, please, split, puppy, split! No! The Stalker is trying to focus down the drop, but it can't get it. 3 Hellions do make it to the natural base. Oh my god, 13 probes going down so far. There is no WCS game heart. We'll get it for game number 2. Game number 1, we just kind of dove into the lobby, got into things as soon as possible. And in the end, 16 probes go down. Feels bad, man. Faesbuca, he got in there. He saw that there was a missing starport. He got an eye on the gases as well, and the alarms didn't really ring for him. He was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. And just kind of went on with life. And oh my god, Tavo, he is not done. He made a tech lab on the starport. He's making a Raven as well. He could have gone for a Banshee, but I mean, the Raven feels a little bit more solid because he can use it, you know, with his main army. The Raven is rallied to come all the way back home. Meanwhile, Blink is about to finish up for these Stalkers. Faesbuca is looking to deal some counter damage. There is a single tank in the main base. There are a handful of Marines. If Faesbuca is fast enough, maybe he can dive on top of the tank and take it out, but the tank does get revealed. Now a second tank pops out. Yo, with 2 tanks, back off, right? Like, this is way too much. Oh boy. Do we have enough channel points for crew, please, every map? I'm just catching up on chat sound though. Normally we would, but it's the problem with these Latin American and American events that we have is these are at a awful time for Kuro, and she is not available at the moment to cast, but we'll be live later on in the day with the GPO Grand Platypus Open, so if you want Kuro to cast, save your points for then. She will be available for that. I know Kuro is very tired, she's very sleepy, so she's gonna be going to bed soon. Time zones, am I right? Feels bad, man. Oh god, speaking of feels bad, man, the starport tried to go all the way home, but it does get taken out on the way, so that is a bit of a win for Faesbuca. You know, the starport gets taken out, it has to be remade, but other than that, oh god, Faesbuca just hasn't been able to deal any counter damage. Only a single SCV has gone down this game. He's poking and prodding wherever he can. Really, he does need to contain his opponents. I love this. As Faesbuca is containing his opponent, he is expanding, taking a third base. Gonna be trying to chrono out 3 probes at a time to catch up in terms of the economy. The problem is that it's great that he's focusing on his economy right now, but he needs to make sure he doesn't die horribly. The Stalkers are a good start, right? He can spot when the army pushes out, and he can slowly pick away at it, but he still needs to bolster his main army. He needs some AoE. He's working on it. He does have a Robo, he does have a Robotic Spay. There we go. Extended Thermal Lance does finally get started, so he's going to be working on Colossus. He needs that to begin ASAP though. We see a scan. Tavo sees that there's no probes here at the third. Because of that, oh, there's no rush, right? Like, he can start a 3rd CC. He's already got a 3rd CC done. He can go and land it on location, and he's feeling content enough. You know, hey, I'm just gonna push out and secure my 3rd. Oh, how good is the Blink Stalker Micro going to be so far? He's just been able to chip away. Almost loses a Stalker, hasn't been able to get too much damage so far. Unfortunately, the Stalkers were pushed away. The 3rd base is being taken. It's already getting saturated because Tavo can Maynard those SCVs. Oh boy. Faesbuca is trying to find some damage, but because the tanks are already pre-sieged, it's so difficult for him to do so. Containing his opponent, he needs to be content with that for now. What does he do from here? Does he throw down a 2nd Robo and go like double Colossus production? Does he throw down a 4th Nexus? That would be bold, to say the least. That'd be crazy. I would love it if he did that. But yo, Tavo is getting ready to push out 3 tanks. What is this? 5 Widow Mines, a bunch of bio. Oh god. Faesbuca, he spots it. He knows. Okay, he's coming back home. What are the defenses looking like? We got 2 shield batteries at the 3rd base. We got 1 shield battery at the natural. We need more than this. We got 1 Colossus. A 2nd Colossus is on the way. There we go. We have a couple more shield batteries, but it feels like this is too late. He's throwing it down now, but the army is already here. Here we go. The main army is pushing in. Good start from Faesbuca. He's able to take out 1 of the Widow Mines. The Raven does get a Matrix off. No more AoE. Oh my god, the anti-armor. The anti-armor missile does go off, and now Tavo is just pushing into the natural base. He throws down his missile turrets, his Widow Mines. The tanks are shelling away. The Colossus is still alive. Faesbuca has done a really good job at, you know, just kind of testing the waters a little bit. He's trying to wait out. Wait out the anti-armor missile. Oh god, but a Colossus immediately does go down. There was some friendly fire, and there is still a single Colossus, but that's all he's got, mate. Oh god, and now Tavo, he can go for the third. He does blink on forward. Nicely done by Faesbuca. Almost takes out the tank, but this is his army. A single Colossus. He throws down more gateways. Oh my god, this is crazy. He thinks he has enough time to get them going, but his third is dead, mate. He's got a disruptor. Nice. Can he take out some of these Widow Mines? He does take out one Widow Mine. He does have to wait a little bit longer for more of those shots to recharge. And can he really defend against this? To be fair, Tavo doesn't have too much left in terms of army, but he hasn't stopped his macro. He's got plenty at home. He's got a 4th CC on the way. He can just rally across the map. And Faesbuca is in a rough place. Again, another solid disruptor shot. Oh no, I was gonna say a solid disruptor shot, but the disruptor does go down. Now we have 2 Colossus, but the robo is depowered. This is where I would have loved for him to have 2 robos for double robo production, and in the case that this happened, it wouldn't really hinder him too much. What is the plan here? Maybe Faesbuca is planning, yeah, he's planning to try and go around the tanks, but here come the reinforcements to help secure that tank position that the Stalkers are going in, and he does take out one of the tanks. Maybe he can get a second, and he does get the second tank, but there's just so much fire here. The natural goes down. GG gets called. Oof. And Tavo takes game number 1. Which again, kind of to be expected. Oh my god, meanwhile we've got a couple of updates going on already. I was not expecting forfeits to be going out so soon, but as you can see on the bracket on the screen right now, Neo and Destroyer did get those walkovers, so they are already in the 3rd round, soon to be in the 4th round. Oh my god. I was really considering to cast Destroyer versus Ades, but I saw that Ades wasn't in game, so yeah, unfortunately the walkovers have gone out. And we will continue with Tavo versus Faesbuca. We'll see if we got WCS. I'll ask them to remake, please, por favor. Gracias. We'll be remaking the second lobby with WCS. It looks like it will be on Death Aura. Death Aura, I think Faesbuca will have a better time, but Faesbuca needs to be on top of his scouting. He needs to be on top of his scouting and his responses as well. He was able to spot that, hey, the starport was missing, but he wasn't ready for the drop, and that drop dealt so much damage. And here we go, Bolivia, Peru, Pato listo, let's go. Meanwhile, on the very bottom of the bracket, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at that bracket, Paco Mike is slowly working his way through. Paco Mike, like again, he's the best Protoss player in all of Latino America. He's probably the favorite to make it through, but before he even makes it to the semis, he will be facing Eric. Eric, the best Zerg player from Brazil. I would love to cast that. Eric versus Paco Mike sounds amazing. It sounds like everything I ever want. But we'll see if we manage to catch that. Again, there are just so many matches going on, so many strong Terran players, Zerg players, and Paco Mike repping Protoss. So yeah, eventually we will get into them, eventually. But before that, we are still here in our first series of the night of the day. We have spawning in the top left of Death Aura LE. Oh. No, Sylvie there. He's like, I forgot to make my color pink. Feels bad, man. Oh god, but we'll get to him because in the top left we have the purple Terran representing Rebirth Esports. El Peruano, it is Tavo. With that purple power. And spawning in the bottom right. The bottom right hand corner. I like how they're friendly with each other. We have, as we do ask for a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. I'm not a referee in this lobby, so they will have to unpause themselves. I have no power over that. So quickly double check. Yeah, just an observer. Oh boy. But yeah, it feels bad, man. Yo, when you get into a lobby and you don't get to pick the color that you want, I mean, yo, that can tilt you, man. We've seen that before. We've seen that with Azure in the past. Oh boy. But I'm hoping I'm giving my energy to Faesbuca here. And since we have a bit of a pause, yo, let's work on this bracket. Hold on, unlock it. Can I fit the whole thing in? That's what she said? What? Oh god. Oh god, the bracket is so big. It's always big when it comes to Sentimiento Latino. Okay. I'll settle with this. For now. Oh, we just got another update. Max getting another walkover. Unfortunately, in the first round, it looks like there are quite a number of walkovers. These role players who checked in, but I guess they had a hard time finding the lobby. Maybe they were on the wrong server. Maybe something came up and they couldn't play. But yeah, I will make the bracket a little bit smaller as we progress to kind of fit in maybe the round of 16. But as you can see at the very top of that bracket it's pretty insane. 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks in a row now. Jim Rising and Terran are poised to face each other early on in the bracket. And honestly, that's devastating to me. Terran is such a good Brazilian Terran player, or such a good Terran player in general. He's always fun to watch. But for him to face Jim Rising, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like in round 2, like that's insane. Like exclamation mark Funada Darking for the seeding on this bracket. Like, oh god. Oh god. Meanwhile, sorry, wrong scene. But they are looking to get underway. It looks like Tavo had to take care of his cat, Sugato. So he did have to take care of him. Meanwhile, Faesbuca is asking for unos besitos in el chat. So give it to him to give him your power. Speaking of, here in the bottom right, we have the Bolivian Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Faesbuca. Also, I blame Dastan for that behavior. I don't know what it is with Dastan, but like all of his like viewers, like whether it's like Maximo, Faesbuca, Supremo, whoever it is, they always want besitos, man. I think they just get neglected from Dastan too much, and they get no attention, and they just let it out here in the CranKy Ducklings chat. God damn it. God damn it. Funada Dastan. Oh boy. But hopefully Tavo has been able to take care of his cat. You know, we don't want it like knocking over like a monitor or something like that. I don't know if it was on the desk or something. But it's okay. It's okay. The cat's okay. Huh. And here we go. Ooh, Chatada. Shout out to Chatadas in the chat. Another one of Dastan's boys. I don't know if Dastan has a name for his viewers. Like, I don't know if they call themselves like Las Tulas or something. I don't I don't know. But yeah. One of them. Meanwhile, ooh, shout out to Rebirth Charlie in the chat. I know the Rebirth boys are always supporting their players whenever they can. Speaking of, Tavo does dive in and get 2 kills, does back off. He got a probe earlier on here to the north, managed to get into the mineral line and get another probe. Unfortunately, the shield battery was just a little bit too late to keep it alive. And ooh, Faesbuca, a little bit paranoid. As we can see, he's sending his zealot all over the place. He's afraid that there's another proxy, so blindly trying to counter it. And I don't blame him. This time, Faesbuca, he opted to skip his adept. So because of that, he doesn't have anywhere near as much scouting information. He didn't get into the main base, so he doesn't really know. Instead, he did get the zealot and the stalker out first. With the stalker, I mean, sure, he can poke and prod. He shouldn't be able to do too much. Again, the scouting information is what's important, because we have a second factory on the way. Oh god. Tavo, please. God, as the Zealot does get dealt with. Ooh, the Stalker was trying to focus down the Mule. The Mule managed to escape, and the Stalker will get one SCV before going down. And this is what's important. In game number 1, Tavo went for a 1-1-1 opening into bio play. Now, we have a 1+1. Oh my god, a third factory? Oh my god, 3 factories. That's absolutely disgusting. This is screaming Neo to me. Neo is another Peruvian player who does nothing but mech, and in TvP he goes Cyclone Widowmine. That's kind of his go-to style. We'll see what Tavo has in store for us, because he's making tanks and he's getting another tech lab. He can go into Cyclones from here, but I don't know if he will. Oh my god, and we'll see if the game even lasts that long, because the Hellions dive into the natural. There's no wall, there's nothing on the ground, there's only a single Stalker, and that's all there is to defend, and this is game-ending damage. Ay, 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 we're not even gonna see the mech. It's not gonna happen because all the probes are dying. Oh no, Faesbuca, there was no wall. He lost his gateway units earlier. He was trying to get a third base up and running. He was not ready for the run by, even though he saw the Hellions. He saw the Hellions earlier when he was harassing with his Stalker, and he ignored them. He's like, huh, that's a lot of Hellions. Interesting. I'm gonna take a third. I'm not gonna wall off, and he still hasn't fully walled off either. Like, this is not like they're not on hold position or anything like that, so this is still scary. And now, as a result, how many workers have gone down? 17 probes have gone down. Like, Tavo didn't even need to drop into the main base this time. He didn't even need it. He just went straight in. He just waddled in with his Hellions, and the damage was done. Something about Tavo and his Hellions, they just always find the probe damage. And here we go. So I was curious to see if this was going to be like Ferrari mech, right? Like Cyclone Hellion, because of all the tech labs. Oh my god, he's making a Thor? Because from right now we see tank Hellion. Hellion makes sense because you need a buffer. Armory was thrown down so you can turn into Hellbats to buffer as well. We have Blue Flame. On top of all this, we have Thors? Why the hell do we have Thors? He's not in a TVC. Like, normally you need Thors against like mutas. What are Thors gonna really accomplish here? Thors are gonna kill what? Like Void Rays? But there's no Void Rays, there's no Stargate, this is a ground-focused army. A scan does get used, the Observer gets taken out. What's important, I didn't get to point it out, but Faesbuca did dive in with an Observer. He saw all three factories. He needs Immortals. He needs Immortals ASAP. Meanwhile, Hellions, they go for another run by, get a decent amount of workers, and just bounce out. They manage to escape. But again, like, if you're going up against a mech like this, you need some beef to your army. You don't get Colossus, you get Immortals. There we go. We have one Immortal on the way. We need Disruptors. We need something that hits hard. And what I'm worried about is that, sure, we have an Immortal on the way, but Faesbuca just got a Robotics Bay. Like, he's kind of all over the place right now. Like, I don't know if he knows what to do. One Immortal at a time. I said it before, double Robo production would be amazing right now, but there's only one Robo. He's working on a 4th base, which I think is important. Tavo is still only on 2 bases, but at the same time, Tavo's on 2 bases. This is like a strong, not necessarily a 2-base all-in, but like kind of a 2-base all-in. Like, there's no 3rd CC, and like, what throws me off about the all-in is that there's an engineering bay on the way. I don't know what the purpose of this is. I don't know what the point of this is. I don't know if he wants to switch into bio after this. Maybe he does. But this is going to hit hard, and it could just end the game, because let's have a look at the units right now. Faesbuca has 1 Immortal, 2 Zealots, and 5 Stalkers. This is his army. And look at this. Look at this giant mech monstrosity coming his way that's gonna just absolutely destroy, decimate this wall, break into the 3rd base. What is there to defend? There is a Dark Shrine on the way, so we will have some DTs, which, I mean, could be the saving grace, but we'll see. Here comes the Disruptor. Show me that shot. Gets a couple of Hellbats, not the worst thing, but again, there's just so many tanks. We got some Thors, we got some Hellbats. He's pushing on forward, taking down the Nexus. And what is there to stop him? This is his army. Like, the Disruptor needs a little bit more time for another shot. There it is. The shot is ready. It goes off. What does it get? Nothing. Oh god, the splits somehow were good enough, or Tavo was able to pull away in time. That lone robo is about to go down. No more immortals for Faesbuca and Tavo. He's just going to be able to push on through. The DTs came in and they dealt some damage. They took care of some tanks, but there's plenty of scan energy. I say plenty. There's only 2 CCs. There's only 2 orbitals, but it's enough. It's enough to take care of all the DTs. Meanwhile, Tavo is pushing on forward. He's going to take out the 4th base. And what is there? Again, there's no robo. There's a couple of gateways. You can warp in some DTs, I guess. It's a 5th. There's a 5th on the way. Oh no, he's getting found out by the Hellions. Oh god, everything's getting taken out. We say the main army is pushing into the natural. Oh my god, towers are being thrown down just in case DTs come in, just in case he doesn't have energy for scans. And this is the killing blow. This should be the end of Faesbuca. He fought hard, he fought strong. He's even got some DTs in there, but it was not good enough, as Tavo takes the game and takes the series. Oh boy. And GG, congratulations, Tavo, with a very interesting style. I want to believe that that 2-base all-in from Tavo, as quote-unquote all-in, that big 2-base push, he only did so because he felt like he was good enough to pull that off against his opponent. I don't know if he would do something like that against Paco Mike, for example. That sounds crazy to me. So maybe he's just having a little bit of fun, and he does take out his opponent. 2-0, GG, congratulations. As he moves on to the next round, to face, ooh, per Hark.